Greetings and gratitude to all light forms and life workers who have found this Mystery School Class Number 1. What is magic? Magic is a lot of things. By definition, there's multiple definitions. The one I go off of is from the man known as Aleister Crowley. Magic is any action that creates external or internal change in the environment through conscious action. That's paraphrasing, but the idea that magic exists always and is everywhere. I agree with this concept, so you probably have noticed it too. There's two forms of magic that humans mostly want to talk about. We have the extreme magic and then the subtle magic. So the extreme magic is something as somebody creating a storm with their mind, somebody lighting a forest fire from the other side of the world. Rain magic would be considered this. Any elemental type magic. Music is celebrated as magic. And these are the more larger than life types of magic that everyone just sees and knows that they are magic. And then you kind of bridge the spectrum into reading and writing and sculptures and symbolism, hand symbols. These are all magic. And then it moves forward to the more subtle types of magic that most people don't want to look at. This is your communication, your eye contact, your kindness, your patience, your gratitude, your breath. These are all magic. These are all things that can be consciously used to create change in your environment. Know that it is your environment to create the change in. You can be affected by others' magic, this is true, but if you are aware of this, their effects on you is very minimal. So I go off of what I believe, in my experiences, is the only real system of actual magic. All other magic works in a different way and cannot be recreated as easily. I do scientific magic, and those in this school, I recommend that to you as well. In the Kabbalion, which is the main foundation text that we will be going through again and again and again on this group, it does discuss the 7 principles, and with the 7 principles, you then will be able to perform any form of magic you wish. But understanding that there is multiple things you have to create first before the magic. The first principle, that if you want to do any magic, and if you want your magic to work, you need to understand this principle completely, is the principle of mentalism. All is mind. The universe is mental. So that God and the universe and spirit all around us, we truly know that it creates through thought. I bet you've had a bad day, you've been really having negative thoughts, and you keep getting reconfirmations again and again and again and again that these things keep happening. Or you're having a good day, no matter what bad things happen, you don't focus on it, because all you're thinking about is how amazing and good my day is. The Hermetic student is enabled to apply intelligently the great mental laws instead of using them in a haphazard manner. As we will study, as we will continue forward with our magic, I will teach you and you will teach me how we can best use our mind to understand the laws we live in and use them instead of being used by them. The next principle is correspondence. This is very key to magic, and I'm going to be very general here. I'm not going to show you how to do rituals. I'm not going to show you how to spellcast or make potions or hexes or any of those things in this group at this time. What I am going to show you is the main 7 principles in which all forms of pure magic can be done. By understanding these 7 principles, there's been magic all throughout history. Sleight of hand performers call it magic. Scientists been called magicians. Fishermen and pyro workers or fireworkers, they've always been called mages. Writers and lawyers have always been called wizards. And there's always an idea that knowledge is magic. I believe kindness is magic. Everything is. And when we give kindness to everything, it makes more of the magic around us. That's my personal belief. If you have your own, please discuss them in this group. This is a place for learning and discussion. There are planes beyond our knowing, but when we apply the principle of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much which would otherwise be unknowable to us. So everything has a correspondence. Everything has a equivalent. The idea that good and evil, light and dark, right and wrong are the same thing, just a matter of degree, where right is high vibrational, where evil is low vibrational. Good is high vibrational. Theft is low vibrational. Giving is high vibrational. And when we see the vibration of all things have a correspondence, and they are connected to that correspondence. Hot is always connected to cold, but cold can never be connected to warm. Because warm doesn't actually exist. Warm is just an intermediary between hot and cold. It's either hot or cold or any one between. It's the same, hot or cold. So know that when we want to use words of degrees, well, my magic isn't working now, I'm not doing my magic right, I have to do it a certain way. You're not doing any magic. But if you do what you do and you keep learning and improving it, at least you're doing something and you're building upon that. You're growing from that. And this leads to the next principle, the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. He who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power, says one old writer. So all things vibrate. The book is vibrating, the camera is vibrating, my words are vibrating, the planet is vibrating. But these vibrations are really hard to notice because they're so subtle. Yes, your computer or cell phone is vibrating at a subtle level. But when your phone rings, it vibrates at a louder frequency. The vibration rises up so you can witness it. But the same is true for the fire. You may not be able to measure the heat of the fire directly, but you will know that it is vibrating at a high vibrational rate. If it wasn't vibrating at all, it would just be logs. Because the logs are at a low vibrating rate. And when they become on fire, the vibration rises, which creates the heat and the friction. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The Kabbalion. This is a really powerful magic for all magic users, whatever your magic may be. Polarity. Know that what you're doing, that someone else is doing the complete and total opposite. You, as I teach all my students, I recommend you work for you, your highest power, your light. If you are trying to summon demons or dark forces to manipulate or control other people, the Kabbalion's not going to help you. My magic, this school is not going to help you. There's plenty of others that will. But if you are wanting to understand your reality, if you want to be the chess player instead of the pawn, here you have to realize that both are equivalent. If you think you're doing the most great white magic ever, some of your magic might actually be black and you're not realizing it. And your great white light magic is inspiring other people who are in the middle of the gray spectrum to be polarized by you to the opposite side. So if you are 100% light all the time, every time, you're creating a lot of darkness that you're not aware of, or you may be aware of. I recommend find the middle pillar, find the place between the poles, which means in the ground. I do light and I do shadow. I lean light. I am high vibration, which is a bright energy, but I do understand that light does permeate through the shadows. It is possible to change the vibration of hate to the vibration of love in one's own mind and in the mind of others. So when you want to change your reality, change your vibration through magic, raise or lower your frequency to the desired frequency that you are wishing to manifest. So the idea is, if you have hate and you don't want hate, you can rise the low vibration hate to the high vibration of love. through active momentum, through change of thought, through a different way. It's so connected because they're all the same thing. You're just turning the ice cube into the steam, which will power the next frequency of energy. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows in and out. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings, manifest in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The Kabbalion. So rhythm, the back and forth, the to and fro, the in-breath and the out-breath, the tides, all exist as part of the universal code of conduct. It all is part of the universality. There's always a swing. There's always a back and forward. There's always an up and a down, a bounce and a recoil. And when we can find these things and use them in our own abilities, the world of our polarity will open up. The principle of polarity has been closely studied by the Hermeticists, and the methods of counteracting, neutralizing, and using them from an important part of Hermetic mental alchemy. So most of the Hermetists, and meaning from Hermes, most of the magic that I will teach, most of these informations that can be taught, they do follow and are based off of these 7 principles. They have to be. But the idea that many people don't want to see, that polarity, rhythm, and all these things create reality and are existing around us. And the more we tap into them respectfully, understandingly, the more the magic flows, the more there is for us to develop. And those who found this on YouTube, the link to the Kabbalion will be in the description. Also, a link to the Mystery School will be there as well. The next principle is cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. They use the principle instead of being its tools. The masters obey the causation of higher planes, but they help to rule on their own plane. In this statement, there is considered a wealth of Hermetic knowledge. Let him read who can. Well, I'm not going to ruin the fun for you for reading this yourself, but the main thing that I want you to think about at this time is the cause and effect. Think about an effect that happens every day that you don't like, and do your best to find the cause. There has to be one. And then find a cause that you're doing, that you love doing, that you enjoy doing, and write down what the effect of this cause is. Because they are tied together, and when you can write down and work with cause and effect on the highest, most planes, this frequency will expand more and more throughout your life. The 7th principle is the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has masculine and feminine principle. Everything is masculine and feminine. Principles, gender, manifests on all planes. So anyone who's trying to do sex magic, reproductive magic, kundalini magic, any of these forms of lust, licentious, phallicism, all of these really base, lewd perversions of nature's principles, I'm not going to support them. This book, my teachings, anything here on this page or on this YouTube channel will not support you in these things. Know that to the pure, all things are pure, and to the base, all things are base. And I stick to purity. I know that my reproductive, my physical generation ability should be honored and should not be used willy-nilly, should not be done for frivolous purposes. There's a lot more powerful magic than sex or blood or any of these types of really ancient perversions of the original light code. So these are the 7 principles. Use them or be used by them. Those are the only choices you really have. If you don't know these, you're getting used by them. You are a pawn to them until you become the queen or king or the player behind the chessboard. But as long as you remain ignorant to the laws, the concepts of magic of around you that makes the world work, the more you will be a pawn in your reality. And nobody really wants to be that. So I deeply say thank you for your time, for your energies, and for your frequency. So listen to your heart, listen to your energies. Know that screams, screeches, negativity from the outside, frequencies that disrupt your magic from all different angles, they will come and they are here to show you an option to persevere or to step away. It's always your choice. Listen to yourself and your guides. They will support you. Keep learning, keep developing, and keep on questing.